Adrenaline is a powerful drug, as suggested by the 2002 Adrenaline DTP. In the Worley v New South Wales case, adrenaline was not the appropriate drug choice, as although the patient's symptoms ticked all the boxes for the administration of adrenaline, he was not on the point of death and consequently suffered a cerebrovascular accident, leaving him with hemiplegia. The trial and appeal judge disagreed on whether there was a reasonable body of opinion in the medical profession who would prefer the administration of salbutamol. However, Maynard v West Midlands Health Authority sets a precedence that negligence can only be found if no other professional of the same skill level would be guilty of doing so as well. Therefore, the judges should have been determining if another ambulance officer of the same skill level would have also given salbutamol, not whether it's the preferred drug over adrenaline. By its own definition, the 2002 QAS CPM was not a protocol which mandated a particular course of action, but rather was written to assist paramedics in their clinical practice of diagnosis, management, and care. This is supported by the Health Regulations Section 174, which authorises ambulance officers to administer controlled drugs such as adrenaline under a clinical practice protocol that's been approved by the QAS. While there was much debate as to the exact meaning, both the trial and appeal judges concluded that the words "consider adrenaline" on the flowchart of the asthma CPM invited the paramedic to consider the appropriateness of adrenaline, but did not mandate that it must be used. The appeal judge suggested that he decided against administering it based on a misunderstanding of the guidelines, thus creating a breach of duty on the part of QAS by not providing clear guidelines. The Ambulance Service Act Section 38 authorises procedures that are consistent with the training and qualifications of the authorised officer. Additionally, the CPM requires that treatments provided which deviate from the guideline must be documented and justifiable. Mr. Peters justified his decision to not administer adrenaline due to the risk of worsening Miss Masson's already hypertensive state. However, the appeal judge opined that this was not a justification for using salbutamol, given that Mr. Peters was instructed by the CPM. Miss Masson did sustain physical damages by the way of hypoxic brain injury, and consequently her estate sustained financial damages which were reasonably foreseeable. Mr. Peters stated that in his initial assessment, Miss Masson was hypoxic and required oxygen immediately. Her presentation suggested that the risk of hypoxic brain injury was inherent, regardless of what the paramedics did or didn't do. Just as Mr. Peters attempted, any reasonable paramedic in his position would have taken precautions against this risk of harm.